Anxiety boy here. Thanks for tuning in. So, do you like my new ring? Pew, pew, pew. This is for the back slap. Pew. When I went to jail, I had a ring. When I went on the range, one of the ranges, the range that I ended up staying on, the unit. When I went on the unit, right? Like you're the new guy, so they give you a tour or talk tour, stuff like that. And because this was Lindsay, this is Lindsay, Central Corrections, whatever, like it's north of Ontario, this kind of thing, north of Toronto. Anyway, it's like different than Toronto South Detention Center. They call it the pen. It's more like provincial jail than municipal jail. The guy was like, yo, like I'll trade you for your ring. And then he said, like he was the cleaner. He was a really great guy called Dilo. And I gave him the ring because like you want to make friends with these guys. And he said he'd give me some other stuff or whatever. And he hooked me up or whatever. So now what he said to me was, this ring is good for punching people with. And he did actually punch someone with that ring later on, like in my stay there. And I was horrified. Another thing is, by the way, this is like the outside of the Ryerson thing. I'm going to continue calling it Ryerson University because Ryerson, like, there was no reason to change the name. Like Ryerson, this historical figure, like he became this target of hate and all this kind of stuff. And I suspect that Ryerson himself never raped or killed or encouraged the rape or killing of any native, right or wrong. Anyway, this is my favorite right here. I was rambling about something else. Yeah. So when you go to the pen, range, for example, they get your name and then they call outside the jail and they get someone to Google you to make sure that you're not there on child molestation or rape charges. Because if you are, then you get hurt and then you get moved to another range. Anyway, the range is run by the cleaners who are inmates and they have cleaning duty and serving duty. They serve the food, they clean, and so they're out of their cells walking around the unit most of the time. So now this is one of my favorite things to do. I'm gonna go flip mode squad. I'm gonna flip the camera and I'm gonna take you through this. Like I'm just here like to go to the other side to just sit down for a bit, maybe do some reading. I got somewhere to potentially be at 2 o'clock. So like this whole thing, like I'm going to go through riding on my bike. I got a new bike. By the way, this is the bike. Like this is a Schwinn right here. It's a beaut. It's like a $2,000 bike. And I traded for it. Like talking from one person to the next, 20 bucks here, 40 bucks here, traded one bike for this bike. You got a kid, I got a smaller bike, so that's better for a kid, but it's a really great bike, and so I traded it for something else. This kind of stuff all the way up to this. I had like a Specialized bike, my last trade, Specialized bike. It had a basket on the back, just like my wife's. Anyway, I'm gonna flip the camera in here. You should be able to hear my voice, all right? So I'm still here, dear viewer. I don't like doing this flip mode thing. I like having my face in the camera, right? So there you have it, right? So this way, like I do it old school, right? So this way, people can see what you're doing. Like people can see that you're not filming them necessarily. Anyway, there's too many people, whatever. You get the point here, right, my friends? I come to Ryerson a lot. Like this is one of these places that has a lot of memories. Like for me, like my years in Toronto. Give me a reason not to crash into your pole. That thing is really cool, by the way. Won't back down, won't back down, won't back down, won't back pedal. Salamun alaikum. Yo, this is great. I've been seeing more and more of these summer events. Like, what I want to do ideally is upload like the little festival in St. Jamestown, like the Freedom Festival, and then there was something in front of St. James Cathedral as well, and I've been uploading these and trying to put them onto Twitter the same day, right? That would be the whole point. So Ryerson is one of these places that I come to a lot, like just to hang out, or, you know, when I'm on the street, I suppose I should say, I come here to hunt for roaches, like marijuana roaches. I'll be honest with you. Like I'm tempted to do that right now, but like there's people here and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, over and out. This is the last thing I want to say about the power, like student power, right? So this whole thing started with I was inside. Like if I've uploaded that already, like there was a bunch of students. They were engineering students. They had their flags and they were rah-rahing and shouting and cheering. And I asked one of these guys, and he says it's the engineering group. And I was surprised because I thought it was goddamn frat boys. Over here where it says Fun Duck, if you can see that, that used to be Dutch Love. I'm very surprised and borderline disappointed that Dutch is the Netherlands, right? Dutch Love was a cannabis dispensary, is a cannabis dispensary. They are around at least one other location, right? And it's like they know how to do business. Like the Dutch people were like back in the day when the Spanish had their armadas and their ships and the empire and the conquest of like the new world, like America and the Americas and all this kind of crap. So the Dutch nation was a big fucking player back in that time. And so it's very surprising to me that it's very surprising to me that like what seems to have happened is that all these kids here, they buy and sell weed from each other. This would appear to be the only reason that Dutch Love went out of business as a dispensary. Like basically the kids, like this is a theory, like the kids took away that buying power or market power from them, or rather maybe it's right around the corner they have a Tokyo Smoke dispensary and it might be that. Anyway, over and out. Send me comments, don't send me comments, be nice or don't.